Detective, I need your help.
Your husband is missing.
You're remarkably well informed.
In 1937, a titan of industry disappeared.
You must understand, this changes everything.
Everything?
Now, his grieving wife.
Every day is a cruel joke. Because every night you dream of her.
A mysterious detective.
Here we are. Hexagram 36.
And a cop with something to prove.
There's a reason I got into this line of work. And it isn't to cast women in need out into the cold.
Must confront dark secrets.
And you're sure he said Aurora?
Detective, my husband is an engineer, not an occultist.
And terrifying cosmic forces.
Death marks people, changes them. You can see it in their eyes.
Then do you believe in all this nonsense?
This isn't something you can outrun!
Did you bring a woman here?
She went up toward the lighthouse, God knows why.
From Wrong Dimension Productions.
What your husband and his friends attempted here has left a shadow in its wake.
With Sally Walker-Taylor.
I just want to find my husband.
Griffin Puatu.
Beat it! You were never here, understand me?
And Peter Bergland.
I told you there was nothing I could do for you.
Rebecca, please!
Twilight Meridian. For details about the show, please visit us at www.wrongdimensionproductions.com or follow us on Twitter @awrongdimension.
Partial Veil contains extreme subject matter and mature content. Listener discretion is advised. A complete list of content warnings for this episode can be found in the show notes. For optimal audio experience, yeah, you're gonna want those headphones.
Date: Thursday, October 14th, 1998. Distance from the moon: 390,746 kilometers.
Ah, Officer Ward, welcome. I hope you're not here to arrest me again.
Well, not unless you've got any more teenagers tied up in there.
Fresh out, I'm afraid, though I can offer you some tea.
Tea?
Yes. It's an aromatic beverage prepared by pouring boiling water over dried leaves.
Yeah, I know what tea is.
Oh, brilliant. I get it shipped in from the UK, so it's actually good.
Oh, is that where you're from? I noticed the accent.
Indeed.
Hey, no offense, but how the hell did you wind up here?
What? Oh, Barron is a lovely town with great history and fascinating people.
Barren is a sleepy, lifeless hellhole where dreams go to die.
Well, yes. Now that you mention it, I do recall reading that on the welcome sign coming into town. They really should think about changing that motto.
Hey, look, I just came to check on you.
Check on me? To make sure I was all right.
To make sure you weren't planning on holding any more citizens hostage.
Well, Not for the foreseeable future. You have my word.
Good. You know, you've really done some nice work on this house.
Ah, so you've been inside my domicile before?
Well, no, never inside. When I was a kid, I'd sometimes go to the house over there.
Oh, the Karlsens? Lovely folk. As long as you like being watched. All the time.
Well, I should be going.
No. You haven't had your tea.
Oh, right. Well, I don't actually know if I like tea.
Well, Josie Ward. There's only one way to find out.
I remember the day I met Eric. It was such a beautiful day. It was May. I was May 22nd, 1947. I needed an onion. Imagine that. Such a meaningless thing. And yet, it became my whole world. That is true bliss. I almost didn't bother. My mother had asked me to get one while I was downtown. She was making a stew that evening. One of my favorites. I had been downtown running errands all day, and I was waiting for the bus home when I suddenly remembered the onion. How it's always been. Now there was a little store near the bus stop. I knew if I went in to buy that onion, I might miss the bus and have to wait for the next one. Where are my children? But then I thought about how I'd be letting Mother down if I came home empty-handed. You see my work. So I dashed into the store. My labor, Grace. I was rushing over to the produce area when, wham! I ran right into a brick wall. Of course, it wasn't a brick wall. It was Eric. Where is your labor, Grace? There I was, flat on my backside, and I looked up to see this towering gentleman extending his hand down to me. I am a man. You are nothing. Oh my. Well, needless to say, I missed the bus, and the one after that. My mother was none too pleased when I showed up that evening. You see, I was so high on cloud 9 meeting Eric that I forgot to buy the onion.
Mrs. Karlsen, we found this knife in a drawer in your kitchen. It's covered in Eric's blood. The only fingerprints on it are yours.
Oh my, you found that in my drawer? So dirty like that.
We also found some of your clothes. They were covered in your husband's blood.
Well, my dear, laundry day isn't until Sunday.
Mrs. Karlsen, did you kill your husband?
Grace, you don't have
Officer Ward, we agreed to let you sit in on this interview on the condition that you would remain silent.
Did I kill Eric? My dear, I don't understand. Of course I did.
Grace!
Mrs. Karlsen, you are admitting to killing your husband?
Well, yes.
Help us understand. Why would you do something like that?
It was Halo. Halo told me to do it.
What?
Mr. Rhys. Oliver Rhys told you to kill your husband. You told us yesterday that you hadn't seen him for several days. But your husband has only been dead for around 48 hours.
Mrs. Karlsen, when did you see Mr. Rhys? When did he tell you to kill Eric?
Well, I was making stew. Eric and I do love a warm bowl of stew on these crisp October nights, don't you? You have to find appreciation for the little things. That's the only way to truly enjoy life. A hot bowl of stew and a warm loaf of brown bread. Now that is true bliss. I had just put the bread in the oven. I was trying to open a jar of jam. I was looking forward to a little treat when the bread was ready, but I just couldn't open it. Eric walked into the kitchen and told me to give it to him to open because that's how it's always been, hasn't it? I'm always too weak, too brittle, too frail to do anything. He fulfilled his duty as a man, while my wretched, barren body yielded no fruit. Where are my children, Grace? You see my work. You see my labor, Grace. Where is yours? Where is your labor, Grace? I am a man, but you are nothing. You are a husk, a dry, withered, dead husk.
Eric told you that?
No, Eric would have never said those things. It was Halo.
Grace, was he there? You saw him?
Officer Ward, please do not interrupt.
Bullshit! Grace, what happened? Was Hal there?
Officer Ward.
Grace?
For God did not spare even the angels who sinned. He threw them into hell, in gloomy pits of darkness, where they are being held until the day of judgment. The jar slid from my hands. It hit the floor, shattering. I looked down at the mess, sticky, red. It was running down my legs. It smelled of strawberries. I drew a finger through it, tasted it, but it wasn't sweet. It was bitter. It was so bitter. Then Eric was there, and I heard Halo. He told me to pick up the knife. It was such a simple movement to cut him. Then Eric was running. I chased him into the woods. He tripped and fell onto the forest floor. The dry, brittle leaves sprang up all around him as if startled. He turned over and looked at me with the most curious expression. I had never seen it before. He was scared of me. His eyes were full of fear as he shouted my name, Grace, Grace. I sat on top of him, dominant. He stared up through the trees, up to the heavens, upon God's own violet canopy. I let the knife spill his blood onto the mossy earth, the full, fertile earth. Oh.
Grace.
When I returned home, the bread had just finished baking. I took it from the oven, piping hot and perfectly baked. As it cooled, I got back to work making the stew. And this time I didn't forget the onion.
I can't understand why she would do something like this. Is it dementia?
I got a master's degree in psychology. That's not dementia. Psychosis of some kind? Possibly. But it's impossible to know exactly what until we get her checked out. I'll arrange for her to be transferred to a secure facility.
Yeah, but none of that made any sense. I mean, she and Eric, they were happy together.
Closed doors breed secrets and lies, Officer Ward. Is anything ever what it seems? What mask do you put on when you wake up in the morning?
But I know them. I've known them my whole life. They loved each other.
Huh. Did they?
Well, now that we've established that our dead body is not Oliver Rhys, let's get back to finding him.
Right. There's a group, police and volunteers. They're gonna search the woods behind his house tomorrow morning.
They? Not we? Will you not be joining them, Officer Ward?
I might.
There's a witness we haven't been able to locate yet. Mrs. Karlsen reported that the night before Mr. Rhys disappeared, there was a red pickup truck at his residence driven by a young woman. Any idea who that might be?
Yep, I do.
Do you know where we can find her?
Yeah, but, I'm coming with you.
There's no need for that, Officer Ward. We have it perfectly in hand.
No, trust me. You're gonna want me there.
Very well. But you will wait outside during the interview.
Yeah, fine. Ange, it's Officer Ward. You there? Ange, it's Josie.
Ay, coño. What the fuck do you want?
Can you let me in?
You got a warrant?
We just need to ask you some questions, okay? Please, Ange.
We? Who the fuck is we? Who the fuck are they? What, are you hanging out with Jehovah's Witnesses now? Not interested.
Ange. These are FBI agents.
Whoa. What the hell, Jose? I thought we...
They're here to ask you some questions, okay? That's it. Please. Can you just talk to them? It's not what you think.
Fine. Welcome to my crib. Damn. Look at me, inviting federal agents into my home. Yo, you coming, Jose?
No, I'm just gonna, wait outside.
Okay. Right, so, the suspense is killing me. What is it Yasuta here for? Oh, a tape recorder. Okay. We gonna karaoke in this bitch?
This is Agent Diane Ramsey. With me is Agent Arlene Whitt. It is Thursday, October 14th, 1998. The time is 1:17 p.m. Can you state your name for the record?
Oh, damn. So we're just getting down to business. Yeah, you didn't even buy me a drink yet. No? Nothing? Wow. Tough crowd. All right. It's Ange. Ange Desperado.
Desperado.
Yep.
Ange, is that short for anything? Do you have any other names?
You mean, do I have some exotic ethnic name? Anjuela? Anjuego? Angelina Bobina? Damn, nothing? Fine. It's Angela. Regular, old, boring Angela.
You don't like being called Angie?
Try it and find out, pendejita.
Look, Miss Desperado. We asked you to come in today because we are investigating a missing persons case.
No shit. Wait, really? Oh my god, finally. Jesus Christ, took you long enough. Okay, are you looking into, like, all the disappearances or just, like, one in particular? What's her name?
Her?
Well, yeah, the name of the missing woman. I mean, it's a fucking crime. It took you this long to do anything about it, but God, at least you're here now.
Miss Desperado, we're investigating the disappearance of Oliver Rhys.
Halo?
Yes, we've heard he goes by that name.
Fucking Halo Rhys? Wait a minute. You're investigating the disappearance of Halo Rhys.
That is correct. We have reason to believe that you were one of the last people to have contact with him before he disappeared.
One fucking white dude.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
Every year, dozens of indigenous and minority women go missing. And the FBI are here to investigate one fucking white guy?
I understand your concern, but we do not decide who or what we investigate. We follow the orders given to us, and we are here to investigate the disappearance of Oliver Rhys. The sooner you cooperate with us, the sooner you can get on with your evening's activities.
And what the fuck is that supposed to mean?
What was your relationship with Oliver Rhys?
Yeah. I'm not about to tell a couple of feds and their fucking tape recorder what my relationship with Halo Rhys is. I don't have a relationship with Halo Rhys.
Hey, look, I know what this seems like, and I don't blame you for feeling the way that you do. The fact that we're here trying to find this guy, I agree with you. It's honestly batshit crazy. If I was in charge, I'd cut the balls off all these pompous dickheads. My partner here, she tries to keep me in line. She likes to follow orders. Me, I hate doing things by the book, and then I honestly don't know how the hell I ended up in the FBI. I'll tell you what.
Is there a point to this, Agent Whitt?
No, my point is that I get it. I get how unfair it is that the FBI sends us out here on this bullshit assignment, but here's the thing. I graduated top of my class at Yale. But yeah, you hear this accent? Do you think anybody takes me seriously with this accent? Now, I'm fucking proud of where I came from. But that means that I have been undervalued, overlooked, and written off time and time again. And you know what? At first, that really pissed me off. But then I realized that put me in the perfect position to gut this motherfucking agency from the inside out. Now, I told the line. I do what I'm told. I do my hair. I put on my makeup. I wear my skirts maybe a little bit on the short side. And I giggle when they tell me how purty I am. And I make them feel like I'm not a threat. Until the day I tear their throats out with my bare hands.
Wow. So what is this? Bad cop, insane cop? What the hell?
You do know this is being recorded, right?
I'll just tell them we lost the recording.
Is she always like this?
No, she's especially spirited today. Miss Desperado, can you please tell us when was the last time you saw Oliver Rhys?
Ay, fuck. Okay, sure. It must have been like, I don't know, a week ago? Tuesday, maybe? Yeah, it was Tuesday. There's this bakery that makes the most amazing cinnamon rolls, but they only make them on Tuesdays. I got some earlier in the day, and I brought him one.
You brought Mr. Rhys a cinnamon roll?
Yeah.
So, Tuesday, October 6th?
Sure, that sounds about right.
Approximately what time of day did you arrive at Mr. Rhys's house?
Late afternoon, 2-ish.
And when did you leave?
I wasn't there long. Maybe an hour or so. Left around 3.
An hour? That doesn't seem like a long time to you? To spend with someone you apparently have no relationship with?
Look, I know the guy. He's an all right guy. A little weird, yeah, but I got nothing for you. I don't know what else to say.
Did anything about his behavior seem out of the ordinary?
Well, this is Halo we're talking about. Everything he did was out of the ordinary.
Was he agitated, nervous, distracted?
Well, Halo, he's sweet, but he's a fucking weirdo. He was always, ¿cómo se dice? Unpredictable. Sometimes he'd be dancing around the house, and the next time I saw him, he'd be a cranky little bitch. And he'd do weird shit. Once I came over, and every single book he had was like stacked up, one on top of another in his living room. Or once when he like drew all these symbols all over his walls, but by the next time I was there, he'd painted over them. And the shitty part was, it was usually when he was the crankiest that he'd page me and ask me to...
Ask you? Ask you to do what, exactly? Look, you were on friendly terms with Mr. Rhys, and I imagine you'd like to find him just as much as we would. The more you can tell us, the better chance we have at figuring out what happened to him. So I'm gonna ask you again. What was it you were doing for Oliver Rhys?
When I was 10, my dad decided that he didn't want to live in this world anymore. Then, 4 years later, Mom decided to follow in his footsteps. Not with a shotgun in the woods, though. No. Hers wasn't nearly as quick. Her way out was booze. So, then it was just me and Abuela. She used to tell me, "Mija, everything happens for a reason." But when she'd say it, it was always with these, like, dead, glassy eyes, as if she didn't even believe it herself. She and I, God, we had nothing. Fucking nothing. So, it was up to me, at 14, to make sure we didn't starve. I figured out early on that morals and righteousness were concepts created by the privileged to make the rest of us feel like shit.
And what significance does this have on your relationship with Oliver Rhys? What morals did you set aside for him?
Everything happens for a reason. I don't buy that bullshit for a second. Whoever thought that up sure as fuck didn't go to both of their parents' funerals before they were old enough to drive. You know, I may not have been old enough to drive, but I was old enough to fuck. Is that what you mean, Agent?
That is not what I meant. I'm sorry if you got that confused.
No, not what you meant? I pleased. You took one look at this shitty trailer and the clothes I'm wearing, and your mind was already made up.
Again, I'm sorry if I offended.
Oh, you're sorry? Fan-fucking-tastic. You're gonna sit there in your designer suit with your perfect nails and $50 haircut and tell me you're sorry?
If you just answer my question,
It was drugs, all right? You got me. I may not fuck for money, but I'm a worthless shitbag drug dealer, right?
Look, I mean this with all sincerity, but we do not care. I mean, yes, we really appreciate knowing what drugs you were supplying Mr. Rhys with, but we are not here to judge you or to even enforce the law. We have one objective, and that is to locate Mr. Rhys. So, with that in mind, can you tell us what drugs you gave him?
Just his usual stuff.
Which was?
Pot. Fucking loads of pot. Some LSD, Valium, Xanax. That was all I gave him that night.
That was all you gave him?
Did you ever give him anything else?
Yeah, peyote once in a while. DMT when I could get it. I once got a hold of some ayahuasca, but he hated it. Threw up a bunch, I guess. He was super into psychedelics, but weirdly not mushrooms. Which is too bad for him since I have a guy who grows them. But every time I asked, he'd shudder and tell me he had a bad experience with them. So, no shrooms for him.
Nothing about his behavior stood out the last time you saw him.
Nope.
Thank you, Miss Desperado. We appreciate your transparency.
Sure.
Hey, Ange. How'd it go in there?
Yo, fuck off, pig.
Ange, really? Come on.
Nah, it was fine. The one is fucking crazy, and the other one's got a stick so far up her ass it's in Canada, but whatever. Hey, why didn't you tell me Halo was missing?
They told me not to say anything to you. I guess they wanted to judge your reaction.
Ah, I gave him some classic Ange.
Did you tell them your last name was Desperado?
Hello? Of course I did. Damn straight.
You know I have to tell them, right?
Why? You gotta ruin my fun.
Hey, you staying out of trouble, Ange?
Well, if I weren't, you'd be the first to know about it.
Right. Nobody has any secrets in Baron.
Yo, why the hell are you even staying around this place? I'd be out of here if I could. Guess you stick around for Halo, yeah?
What?
You two a thing? So you really don't know where he went?
No, on all of those things. We are not a thing. We're just...
Okay, my bad. But, you know, he is cute.
All right, Ange. I am not having this conversation with you.
I suit yourself. You know, you're a lot cooler now that you've stopped arresting me. Don't get me wrong. You're still not, like, cool or anything. Hey, you should quit being a cop and join me. We could be business partners.
You want me to stop being a police officer to help you sell drugs?
Yo, I don't sell drugs. I sell medicine. I don't deal in coke or heroin or none of that shit. Fuck. If I did, I could finally get out of this shitty trailer.
Well, Angela. Seems like you might have some morals after all.
You know what? I take back what I said about you being cool. Get off my fucking property, pig. Vete.
See you around, Ange.
Home sweet home. You sure this is the best motel in Baron?
This is the only motel in Baron.
So, are you ever gonna tell me why we're actually here?
What do you mean? We're here to find Oliver Rhys.
I thought you never wanted to see me again. Why the change of heart? I'm assuming you requested me on this.
What did you think you were doing back there?
I was trying to get her on my side. She's young. She's obviously using anger as a defense because of what she's been through. And I think she knows more than what she's letting on. Hey, that sounds like someone else I know.
I'm going to my room.
Don't you think we should talk?
Arlene?
About the case?
No. I need to think. Alone.
Right.
Earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us.
This episode of Partial Veil featured Allison Cossitt as Josie Ward, Peter Wicks as Halo Rhys, Reny Amoros as Ange Narvaez, Candace McAfee as Agent Diane Ramsey, Sarah Doreen MacPhee as Agent Arlene Whitt, Nancy O'Fallon as Grace Karlsen, Mikee Joaquin as Adam, and Livia Zita as Ildiko. Partial Veil was written, directed, and edited by Allison Cossitt. Original music composed by Jakub Żerański. Partial Veil is a production of Ylem Media. Ylem Media. This is only the beginning.
And death shall have no dominion.
And death
Dead
shall have no
dominion. They shall
One with the man in the wind.
Dead
West
men,
wind.
they shall be
When
one
their bones
with the
are
man
but
in the
clean,
wind.
and the clean
And the
bones
west
gone,
moon.
they shall have stars.
When their bones
and
are
elbows.
picked clean.
And
the
the
clean bones
at
gone.
elbow and
They shall have
Though they
stars.
sink
Though
through
they
the
go
sea,
mad,
shall
they
rise
shall
again.
be
Though they
saved.
go
Though they
mad.
go
Though
mad,
lovers be lost,
they
Through
shall
the
be
sea,
sane.
They shall
Though they
rise
sink
again.
through the sea,
love shall not
they shall
Love be lost.
and death
Though lovers be
shall have no
lost,
dominion.
Shall not.
love shall not,
And death
Shall not.
shall
and
have
death
no dominion.
shall have no dominion.
Hey, all. So if you've listened this far, well, you really must like Partial Veil, which only figures because clearly you have excellent taste, my friend. Right. It's Allison here. Writer, director, actor, producer, dialogue editor, sound designer, website builder, social media manager, and casting director for Partial Veil. That's right, pals. It's mostly just me trying my best to create an awesome show for you. Partial Veil is an independently produced audio drama, independently produced by me. Yeah, that whole Ylem Media, yeah, that's still just me. But here's the thing. I have all sorts of fun stuff planned for Season 2 of Partial Veil and even other stories that I want to tell. But I need your help. You listeners are what's going to make it possible for me to keep going. So if you have the means and want to share my delusions of grandeur, head over to the Partial Veil Patreon page and support us at www.patreon.com/Ylem Media. Ylem is Y-L-E-M. Another bomb diggity way of supporting us is leaving a 5-star review, telling a friend, or making a blood sacrifice to the forest gods. And if any law enforcement agents are listening, we're totally kidding about that last one. Totally. Anyway, thanks for listening.